Yeah, the video store.
Oh, shit.
Don't you just love the video store?
I love the fucking video store.
It's the shit. Probably the most nostalgic thing to me personally is the video store. Just the idea of going into a place to actually physically look at the movies before you rent them.
Me too. I mean, I miss the days going into the stores and being able to actually hold the video cassette and look at them, and that's what made you want to decide, oh, I want to rent this because of the cover.
Yeah.
You know, and what's on the back and all that.
Going out to rent a movie was like a big thing, and that's where I got all my inspiration, everything I done, and renting video games too.
What do you have over here?
Oh, over here, check this out. Got, CEDs, those are pretty old, and Laserdiscs, now that's the new hot shit. You know, eventually, Laserdiscs are going to replace VHS.
Someday, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. When was the first time you ever had an experience with Laserdisc? Watched one, or?
I never really heard of them that much until later. I didn't realize that every movie ever made was on Laserdisc.
In fact, growing up, I only had one friend who had a Laserdisc player and like a couple Laserdiscs. I think he had like Star Wars, and he had this one movie called Zapped. Is the only thing I really remember, only Laserdisc experience I had. And that movie, I don't know if you ever saw that movie, but it was like this dude who would like zap women's like clothes off, and I think that's why he liked the movie, because there was a little bit of nudity in it.
Yeah, I think I saw the commercial to that before.
Yeah, so I saw that on Laserdisc when I was in the 80s.
Oh, hey!
Hey!
It's Kyle!
Oh, I haven't seen you in a long time.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, do you remember being in stores like this? Because obviously today there's, you know, all Netflix and stuff like that. Do you remember the days when it was like this?
I, in fact, do remember the days when it was like this. Yeah, you'd have...
Didn't seem like it was that long ago.
Yeah, to me it seems like, I can't even believe that you can't just walk down the road and go into like a Blockbuster or whatever and have the VHS tapes sitting there. It seems like yesterday to me. Yeah. So it's weird that it's not like that anymore and that it's obsolete now.
I remember one of my first experiences in a video store was getting probably the Back to the Future movie. And speaking of Laserdisc, like my family didn't have a Laserdisc player, and when I got the Back to the Future movie, we didn't even have a VCR, so those weren't even prevalent, prevalent back then, and we had to rent the VCR from a local mom and pop's video store called Palmer Video.
Actually, that's funny. I do remember them having actual VCRs that you could rent out.
Yeah.
That's funny. We never did that because we had a VCR, so we never had to rent the VCR.
Yeah.
But that is funny. Yeah.
Do you ever remember like renting your first R-rated movie or anything like that? Or?
Probably saw too many R-rated
movies. I mean, growing up, I had like HBO and all that, and I remember seeing like when I was really young, like Rambo 2, not too long. I saw it on TV, and there's like a lot of violence and stuff, and I think cursing and stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
My mom would make me like turn my head.
Yeah.
It's pretty annoying.
Are you trying to ask us if we've rented any porn at the
well, the porn section's
back.
Okay.
No, it's video games.
It actually goes right into the NES.
Yeah, that's right. What do you think about Netflix and stuff and how things are so much easier today? It's more convenient, but at the same time, did you lose any convenience? Because wasn't it kind of also convenient in a way to go into a store and actually rent something at that moment?
I don't think it was convenient at all to have to leave your house and go to the store and rent something.
And then bring it back.
I think it was a pain in the ass. So I think it's better today in most ways, except that it's a different experience because you used to be able to go to the store and actually see the cover art of things and be able to hold it and look at it and read the descriptions. And like they have descriptions and stuff you can read on Netflix and all that, but it was just a different, more physical, I guess, experience. But you look at the tapes and it was a whole thing. Oh, let's go rent a movie. Now it's just click and the movie's on. So it's not.
If it's instant.
It was like a ritual, and now it's not.
Yeah, as a kid, it would be like a family thing. Like the family would go out to the video store and.
Yeah, it was a night out in a way.
Yeah.
Go get dinner and then rent a movie, go home and watch it, that type of thing.
Yeah.
There are definitely things that were that you lost, but it's also become a lot easier with Netflix and
like there's
Hulu and all these things.
Yeah, like there's things about it. Like when I first heard of Netflix, I actually thought it sounded like the dumbest idea I ever heard because I was like, Well, if instead of going into a video store and renting a movie that you'd have that very night, you'd wait for something to come in the mail.
That's what I didn't like about it.
Yeah, and you have to mail it
seems
back.
weird.
And like,
Yeah.
yeah, but then when I started realizing a lot of movies are instant and you could just watch them, you just click and there they are, they're playing. That's when, like, basically if they just get every movie instant, that's the only way I think it's truly
I've actually never done like the thing where you mail in the disc and all that. I've never done that because of just like what you were saying. I thought it was stupid. Like, I'm gonna go mail something to watch a movie. Like physically mail it. I always thought that was stupid. But like you say, most movies now, like you can go on Amazon and just watch a movie now, or Netflix, or all these different ways. You know, you can just digitally watch a movie now, and it doesn't get more convenient than that. So that's awesome. But there is, I think, something lost in not being able to go to the store like this and actually see the tapes in front of you and decide to choose. Because I remember the cover art would often make me, that would be the reason I would want to rent the movie. I'd go by and be like, oh, that cover's not too good. That cover's not too good. Ooh, this one, there's a bus exploding. Oh, maybe I'll try that one. Then you look at the back. And it really came down to like the pictures that you look at on the box. It's just some girl kissing a guy. I don't know about that. But then I get to another one. Ooh, what's this? Oh, somebody's getting their head cut off? Well, I got to rent this, you know? And that experience, I think, is part of what's gone, unfortunately.
Yeah. But with all that said, Netflix made it extremely more convenient. So it's definitely like, it's no wonder why people don't go to video stores as much.
Yeah.
But we're just saying like things that were lost in it.
Times are changing.
Yeah.
But there are things lost, and things gained. You know, the convenience factor. But I think something that was kind of briefly happened. And we talked about this like yesterday. For a moment there was that bridge when from on demand, like Comcast, whatever your cable company is, on demand and Netflix. But there was something before that, which was where you'd call in your movie.
That's right.
You'd have your local
pay-per-view,
cable.
right?
Yeah,
but it was back when you didn't have the menus and you'd be able to actually just put the movie on. It's on demand. It's actually when you called up, right? And then you would tell them what movie you want.
I guess you'd press a number, like press 1 for this movie, press 2 for this movie.
You know what I think is fitting? There isn't really a porn section back there. It just goes to the NES games. But I think that it is fitting that it goes to NES games because that was another part of the experience, was going to the store and renting a Nintendo game.
Imagine buying every Nintendo game that you ever played. That would be impossible. They were $50 each game, so...
When new releases came out, they'd have that giant wall.
Yeah, that's right.
The same movie, like 50 copies, It's funny, like, it would take up this... have you guys heard of, like, Redbox? Or they're, like, vending machines for movies now? I don't know. Where one spot took up... One, like, 4-foot by 5-foot section took up one movie. Now if you put a vending machine there, you'd have, like, 100 movies. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But it was exciting. You'd walk, there'd be a new release and something you're really excited to see. And you'd walk into the store and there'd be posters, big posters.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'd have cardboard cutouts of different things. And then they'd have the wall of this new release. And then you pray that when you pick the movie up, that there are copies behind it. Yeah. Because you take the copy.
Those new releases were so hard to get, even though they would have a whole wall. If you go in like the first day when it comes out, you're not going to get it because everybody came and rented it. And it's so stupid if you think about it, like that they used an entire wall for one movie, but they did. That's what happened.
Yeah. But, you think about the technology aspect of it, like this is one movie.
Right.
You can get a hard drive for this size.
Yeah.
And put like 1,000 movies on it. So, I mean, there's also the convenience factor of it, I think, I also relate it kind of to music where music and videos are all going digital now, and I still like when I get new music CDs. I like to buy the CD. I like having the
I'm that way too.
Hardcover
I have
CD.
to have the actual CD because I like the liner notes and actually be able to look at it, just like VHS tapes. Like I want to be able to hold it and look at it.
And if something happens to it too, you want. Something happens to your computer, if it's all saved, you want like a physical copy so you still have it.
Like you could download the music from iTunes or whatever, but what if your hard drive crashes or something? Then you lose all that.
I mean, you could back them up and stuff. But,
you can, but
yeah.
On the other hand, the physical copies can get like scratched and stuff,
Well,
and they
that's
might
true.
like, you know.
All right, throw all the physical copies out. Come on. It's all garbage.
It's all garbage. You notice how some movies come in like these really shitty, like, you know.
Slips.
I mean, I love them. I love them, but then
Yeah.
you get like ones that come in like these like things that open up.
Like a clamshell.
And you know which ones seem to get the special treatment was Disney.
But it had a
yeah.
big case like this, and they were white. It was the big clamshell things, and it was like, wow, those are special compared. Oh, look at these! Like, who wants to rent
It was
that?
like encased in a cloud.
Yeah, it was like a cloud.
A heavenly cloud.
Yeah.
A white heavenly cloud.
This movie's so special. It gets all wrapped up.
You'd
in
open up and there'd be gold lacing.
I wonder if Disney did that on purpose because they wanted.
Was there or no?
No, there wasn't
I didn't think
gold
so. But I wouldn't be surprised.
Rubber bumpers. You put the video in, and there'd be rubber bumpers.
Yeah, I remember that.
Shock absorbers. So if you drop the video.
Oh, you're joking. Okay.
Yeah, I'm joking.
I was like, I do not.
So if you drop the video, like there's.
I
the
actually
shock.
do remember like these big box type of cases had. I thought you were talking about like if I can open one of these up.
Oh, like the thin plastic
Yeah,
with
it's
a
like-
cushion of air kind of
Yeah,
thing.
like this thing had like a cushion. That's what I thought you were trying to describe.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that does have some. Because
Yeah.
there's no way the
That has some shock absorption. Yeah.
basically the cassette is not as big as that box.
This would fit in this slip sleeve right here. You
Yeah.
know, it's the same exact size. So why do you have to put it like in this thing and then put it in an even bigger box? The only reason to do that is to make it seem more special. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'd rather rent this than that because this is bigger.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's
Like
bigger.
look at
I'm gonna rent
Spectre
that.
Man. Like that's a great example right there. Like, bring that down. There's no reason that needs to be that big. Like look at that. Show that to the camera.
It's like a weapon.
Yeah.
If somebody tries to steal your videos, you
Yeah.
just grab Spectre Man
Yeah.
and like beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. And you know what I also don't get?
Is that why it's so dented?
Maybe
Who did you beat the crap out of with this?
So you got a Blockbuster membership card here.
That's my old card.
This is
Yeah.
the
Wow.
original card.
That's it.
Now
Saved
you know
it.
you told me
I
Only
somehow-
James
I
would
don't know.
save his Blockbuster card.
I just found it recently.
It was actually in your wallet.
All these
You
years.
found it in your wallet.
Yeah, my-
So what were all the different video stores you remember? Okay, Blockbuster was
Okay.
the big daddy. Then
Well-
below that was like what?
Well, I don't remember anything close to Blockbuster as far as big chains go, but everybody had their own local like video stores that they'd go to, and the two that I had besides the Blockbuster was a West Coast Video and a
yeah.
Hometown Video. And actually some of these tapes I have actually are from the Hometown Video.
Ah,
So like because you know when it went out of business.
Right.
you bought it for $2.99.
Yeah, basically.
There's a
Yeah.
select price on it.
Yeah.
But there was also TLA. I remember that. Was that only
TLA. How did we forget about TLA? Yeah, that was a chain. Yeah, the thing about TLA was that they had almost every movie in existence. Like they must have had a bottomless basement just full of movies, but you don't see all of them on the shelves. Or you did, but the thing is, with TLA, you'd go up to the counter and ask for the movie, so you don't even really have to look around the store. If you know what you're looking for, you would just say, you know, give me this movie, and then they would just go. The person would go disappear behind the counter, and they'd come back with the movie.
I do remember that.
Yeah, and another thing that was really cool about that place was that you could tell that it was all movie buffs running the place, and when you look around the store, you'd have categories. Not just like horror and comedy, you would have like a Bela Lugosi section or something, or by director, it would be, here's Alfred Hitchcock movies. No matter what the movie is, you have to go up to the counter and say the name of the movie. So if it was like some porn movie, if you went into the porn section or something, you have to be like, oh yeah, I want to get Blow Me Sandwich. And, you know, that was just the weird...
Could you write it on a piece of paper and just like pat?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And
Imagine doing that if you have like a bunch of people around you like wanting to rent, like oh, like some kids want to rent like Home Alone or whatever, and you're like, oh, give me Blow Me Sandwich. It's like that's fucked up.
there's a movie in there called Corpse Fucking Art.
I remember that.
And we were just looking at that saying, can you imagine just going up to the counter and saying that?
Corpse fucking art. What was it?
Yeah.
I'd like to
That's what
rent.
it's called.
Hello, I'd like to rent corpse fucking art, please. Need 2 copies. Me for one of my gal.
That's really bizarre. Name. I don't really want to know what that's about.
Yeah, what was it, a horror movie?
I don't know. Never
you never rented it.
Never rented
Sounds like sexual
What-
and horror.
Was it in the porno section or
No,
was it in the regular?
It was in the regular section.
So
yeah.
so it must not have been a porno movie.
Probably not. It was probably some exploitation film. I don't know. Now we're probably gonna find out now.
Yeah.
But,
That's
no,
funny.
there were some fucked up movies.
But and that was TLA for you. A lot of fucked
Yeah.
up weird things.
Oh, you know what? Right behind you. Right down. Wait, at the very bottom, there's a TLA bag underneath that cassette right there. There you go. I kept the TLA bag. I happened to find it. Look at that.
Oh.
An actual TLA bag.
There you go. A world of film.
And I
at
like
your
that it
fingertips.
says TLA bag.
Oh,
That's what it says on
wow, that's crazy. As if you didn't know.
Couldn't it just say TLA? Does it have to say bag? I think we know.
Just so you know, it's
a
a bag.
I probably
Do you think
knew what
they're-
this was. So this is actually like going into a real video store back in the day. I really feel like I've been transported into the
Yeah.
past. It's like a time machine in here. And what I really like about this place is the fact that, you know, most of the stuff is like horror movies because that's what James likes, and sci-fi movies. But I like that right here it's all like really generic, general movies. Like here he's got the Mighty Ducks and like Speed and stuff. And it's funny because like those are the kind of movies, right?
That's what you would see in the video store.
I think that's perfect to have that.
Yeah, that's the first thing you'd see. Then you'd have to like go into the corner to find the monster movies or whatever it is you're looking for.
Exactly, and then that's exactly what you have. Like tucked away down here is all the monster
Yeah.
movies, but right in your face, it's the Mighty Ducks. Everybody wants the Mighty Ducks, right? You guys want to watch the Mighty Ducks?
And that's what I do best, is taking you back to the past. That's what I do, right?
That's what you do.
Mm-hmm.